perform fellatio on me and you get your deal. That was what I heard while I was on Empire about some of the people in the business. And Petey Pablo, you remember Petey Pablo?
I know who that is.
Petey Pablo, talented writer, singer. Him and Young Buck wrote a song called Ho Is On. And in that song, back in about 2011 or 29 or something, because he called out all of the taking place at those parties and those people, he was kicked out of the music business.
I thought it was gonna be cold out here. It feel good as hell. Nice and brown.
It's a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, shrooms, everything. And it was just an escape for me. I was just young, like everybody in the industry and people in the world. I started valuing the wrong things in this business because there was things dangling in front of me. If I get this, I'll be happy. If I do this, I'll be happy.
Rappers, they're all so tough until you hear their real name.
Yeah, or until you see them at a puffy party.
Oh.
Then they're not tough no more. I'm surprised that the rap game is still alive because the masculinity that the rappers are supposed to portray.
I was already 20-something years old and I'm sleeping on somebody's couch. I'm staying in New York. I'm the only thing, because I've never been a slouch, so the only thing that I know that I can do for the people that I'm staying with is make sure that they house clean and make sure that they dishes washed and, make sure if they needed something from the store, I would run to the store for them. But I was that dude before I went to prison. I was that, my money was straight. I was the big dog before I went. And so here I am now washing people's dishes and, sweeping their house up. And it was hard for a dude that was on a certain level in life, as a street guy, to have to humble himself to just survive.
Welcome to Spill Hood, your spot for the real stories the industry doesn't want you to hear. Remember when Petey Pablo had everyone yelling North Carolina and spinning their shirts in the air? His track Raise Up wasn't just a hit, it was a whole movement. But behind that success, something sinister was brewing. This lyrical powerhouse didn't just fade away. He got pushed out for exposing secrets the music business would rather keep buried. Then came DaBaby. One moment, he's hanging with top-tier elites, winning awards, living the dream. The next, those same people act like they've never met him. One wrong move and suddenly he's blacklisted from the same industry that once crowned him the future of hip-hop. And don't even get started on Justin Bieber. He once casually dropped names like Molly, Xanax, and lean like they were snacks off a shelf just to cope with a lifestyle that was supposed to make him happy. The system promised fame and joy, but instead it shattered him. Now Terrence Howard is stepping in, ready to expose everything. What if none of these downfalls were random? What if there's a cold, calculated machine built to crush artists who dare to think for themselves? 3 generations, one horrifying cycle. And the question is no longer, is it real? But who's next? Because talent isn't safe when power feels threatened.
The whole Terrence story, that was a whole story within itself anyway, because the reason that I got that role on Empire was, like Cherry said, I'm just that guy. I just so happened to run into Terrence Howard in the Four Seasons Hotel. And I was like, hey, what's up, man? That's Terrence just hustling the flow. Oh man, what's up? He's like, man, I listen to all your stuff. He was like, even when I was on Hustling the Flow, he was like, I listen to your music. He said I was trying to act like Petey Pablo, and that's crazy to me.
You did.
So I said, hey man, we all going out. What's up? You want to come out? And he was like, nah, man, I'm going through a little something right now, man. I lost my wallet, lost my credit cards and everything, so I'm just going up to my room, man. So I was like, damn, you lost. So I reached in my pocket and pulled out 200. He was like, here, take it. He was like, here. He was like, I was like, no, man, you just don't be walking around with nothing in your pocket. Like, here.
Oh, that's
and I gave him the money and I walked off. So fast forward, 13 years later, I get a phone call. And this is a couple years ago. He was like, is this Petey? I was like, yeah. He was like, first of all, I need you to see. He's like, this is Terrence Howard. I was like, damn, what's up, bro? I ain't heard from you in, years. Last time, he was like, yeah, last time I seen you, yeah, something happened between us, and I need you to send me your address because I owe you some money. And I was like, nah, bro, you don't owe me no money. He was like, bro, send me your address or I'm going to hang the phone up and and you'll never hear from me again. So I'm like, okay. So I give him my phone, my address. 2 days later, I get a check for $15,000.
Dang, what a great investment.
Crazy, right? Crazy. So I called him back and I was like, bro, he was like, listen, you do not realize that at that time, I didn't lose my wallet. He was like, I just said that because I was so embarrassed that I was going through what I was going through in life. And he was like, effortlessly, you just reached in your pocket and handed me money and didn't really even know me. You knew me from watching me on TV. You know, we had never had a conversation or anything. And he was like, and people that I've known for years had denied me at that point in time in his life. And he was like, and he was really in a bad place. He was like, for me to reach in my pocket and effortlessly just do an act of kindness that way, he was like, it changed his thought about life. And I was like, man, that's really crazy. He was like, now we got that out of the way. Now I need you to help me on this empire system. The actual truth. Straight up, hey, you better get your mind right because this is what's going on. And that's what I've always been on. I'm like, hey, man, telling the truth is the coolest. You know what I mean? Lying and fronting and putting on and stunting. Like you talking about Ferraris and Lamborghinis. A lot of people ain't never gonna even see these cars in real life.
This is the real Petey Pablo the industry hopes you forgot about. A man who came from nothing but pure hunger and raw determination. At just 20 years old, he wasn't backed by big labels, powerful friends, or family money. He had no handouts, just grit, bars, and a dream that couldn't be silenced. When Raise Up dropped, it wasn't polished in some boardroom or shaped by marketing teams. It was authentic fire straight from the streets. The energy was so real that fans could feel every word. But what sets Petey's story apart from your typical rags to riches fairy tale is how his character changed everything. One random day at a Four Seasons hotel, Petey crossed paths with Terrence Howard. No cameras, no PR setup. Just genuine respect between two men. Petey treated him like a human being, not a celebrity. Years later, when Terrence had made it big in Hollywood, he didn't forget. He returned the favor by giving Petey a role on Empire. That's loyalty in its rarest form. Real bonds in a fake industry. So ask yourself, if Petey had the talent, grind, and heart that even Hollywood admired, how did he end up being erased from the game? That's where everything flipped. Petey made one bold move. He spoke the truth about what was really happening behind closed doors, about what artists were being asked to do, and what this industry truly demands when the cameras stop rolling.
And then they tell him, okay, yeah, you can have a deal. You know, perform fellatio on me, and you get your deal. That was what I heard while I was on Empire about some of the people in the business. And Petey Pablo, you remember Petey Pablo?
I know who that is.
Petey Pablo, talented writer, singer. Him and Young Buck wrote a song called Ho His Own. And in that song, back in about 2011 or 29 or something, because he called out all of the taking place at those parties and those people, he was kicked out of the music business. No radio station would play his stuff. So you look for Petey Pablo, he's not around anymore. But that song, Ho Its Own, they did not, and they went all in on it.
Like people look at Usher, they don't see that. They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there. Oh. Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there, but you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like, what kind of asshole do you gotta be to take another boy, another talented boy, and put him in your place so it ain't gotta be you no more?
Petey Pablo made the kind of choice most people in the game are too scared to even think about. He picked morals over money and integrity over industry approval. The same machine that once lifted him up flipped on him overnight, turning his dream into a nightmare. Because in Hollywood, standing for truth always comes with a heavy price, and Petey paid it in full. That's when things started to make sense. This wasn't just bad luck or fading fame. This was punishment. Terrence Howard recently confirmed what insiders whispered about for years. The real reason Petey Pablo vanished from the charts. It had nothing to do with talent, sales, or trends. It was about something much darker, the hidden favors that fueled the entire entertainment world. According to what Terrence exposed, Petey was told early on that this was simply how the game worked. Behind the fame, the cameras, and the flashing lights, there were unspoken demands. The message was clear. You give what they want behind closed doors or you don't shine in the spotlight. But Petey did the unthinkable. Instead of staying quiet, he began talking, exposing the secret dealings, the manipulation, and the twisted exchanges of power that had nothing to do with music. He risked everything to uncover how this exploitation touched everyone, no matter their gender or status. The truth hit hard. The so-called mentorship Petey was promised turned out to be nothing but systematic mistreatment in disguise. The second he started speaking up about what really went down in those private meetings and label boardrooms, his career was done. The machine moved fast, cutting ties, pulling records, and making sure his name vanished from the charts. This wasn't a coincidence. The industry has perfected psychological warfare. They target strong, confident artists, the ones who radiate power and masculinity, and throw them into twisted situations meant to break their pride and strip their identity. It's not just about what happens physically, it's about control. It's about making sure that every time those artists grab a mic or step on a stage, they're reminded of who really pulls the strings. And now, Jaguar Wright has stepped forward, backing up Terrence Howard's claims word for word. She didn't call it mentorship, she called it a transactional business model built on dark exploitation and manipulation. According to her, this isn't just gossip. It's the industry's ultimate control tactic. Because once they've got something on you, once there's evidence of what you've been forced into or what you've done to survive, they've got you locked. You're stuck obeying because they hold your secrets like chains. You stay silent, not out of loyalty, but out of fear, knowing that if you ever speak the full truth, they'll destroy you before your story even gets heard. This is exactly how they broke Petey Pablo. And it's the same method they use to control the entire industry. Ever wonder why so many talented artists vanish out of nowhere or come back as hollow, robotic versions of who they used to be? It's not coincidence, it's by design. The system isn't failing. It's doing exactly what it was built to do. But now, the victims are ready to talk, and what they're exposing is chilling.
When you speak the songs about the average everyday individual that everyone in the world can identify with, that's what makes an incredible artist. When you can say something that the bum that you call a bum on the corner can listen to and feel like you're talking about him, that's when you, because everybody has been down. Everybody ain't always been up. So if you can speak to people that had lived in a place that we all have lived, hey, then you have accomplished something. You know what I mean? Talking about things that are over people's head, they can't do nothing but bob to the beat because they can't identify with nothing.
What I heard, he sounded like a baby when he was begging for money from Lucien Grange. You know, everybody's forgetting how he sat there and slut-shamed the shit out of Ashanti. And then talked about that music and then bragged about how he sold all of their mother publishing rights to that weirdo vampire, Lucien Grange. And he sat there, I don't have to worry about BET because, you know, see, I know people like Lucien Grange. So did Diddy. Did he you too? Like, it's just,
Ah, man.
I wouldn't be bragging. I said that. When he did the Drink Champs, I said it. Herb, that's not a flex.
Yeah.
Bragging about Lucian Grange hooking you up don't look so good right now, do it. That ain't aging all that well. Because everybody know that Lucian has been Diddy and Sean Carter. They sugar babies. So what the you? I'm just curious. With the Diddy doo-wop and the bop. Okay. All I can say is this. When you're used to be giving you all kinds of affection and then you don't become as popular as you get older, you still expect for people to treat you the way they treated you when you was really popping. You want to accept they ain't popping like that.
The real nightmare isn't just about what these artists are forced to do, it's about how early the manipulation begins. Some of these stars were targeted long before they even understood what they were stepping into. Take Jaguar Wright's latest revelation. She just dropped a bomb about Justin Bieber's early days that left fans speechless. According to her, what looked like mentorship wasn't guidance at all. She claimed that Usher's support was actually a dark transaction, a desperate move to protect his own career while handing over a young, talented kid to the wrong people. So when you hear Justin casually listing off substances, it's not about wild celebrity living. It's the coping of someone who's been through deep industry trauma. This is how they keep their stars compliant. Through shame, leverage, and fear. Once the system has something on you, once there's blackmail, recordings, or secrets, it becomes a prison you can't escape. Speaking out means self-destruction, and that's exactly how they keep control. And this is what happens to the ones who refuse to play the game. Petey Pablo himself just confirmed what so many artists are too scared to say out loud. The industry punishes truth. One day, he's topping charts, performing for sold-out crowds, and the next day, gone. No features, no shows, no radio play, just silence. The same people who once called him family suddenly acted like he never existed. Petey's disappearance wasn't an accident. It was a message to every other artist watching. The message was clear. Choose morals over money and you'll end up just like him. Blacklisted, erased, and forgotten. And trust me, most artists understood that warning instantly. Now here's where things get darker. This isn't random mistreatment or petty rivalries. What we're looking at is a coordinated network of powerful insiders who protect each other while crushing anyone that dares to go against the system. It's not chaos, it's control. According to Jaguar Wright, the entire power structure we see is an illusion. She revealed that names like Diddy and Jay-Z, often viewed as the masterminds of hip-hop, are really puppets for even more powerful figures behind the curtain, like Lucian Grange. That's a chilling thought. The men we believe were running the game are actually being run themselves. It's not just one corrupt person or one shady label. It's a machine, a massive network where the biggest stars act as middle management, feeding new talent into the system to keep their own position safe. They stay relevant by doing what they're told and stay untouchable by keeping quiet about what they've witnessed. Here's how deep this goes. The entire justice system is rigged to protect the powerful. According to Jaguar Wright, what's happening right now isn't about proving Diddy's innocence at all. It's about containing the fallout. He's been chosen as the acceptable villain, the one they can publicly sacrifice so everyone else behind the curtain can keep operating untouched.
They accused him of fondling or touching someone at a bar.
Oh, yeah.
At a bar, and then they accused him of touching some dude.
A number of producers coming to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're gonna get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that because the man card means.
While the media keeps your eyes glued to Diddy's every move, the real puppet masters, names like Jay-Z, Lucian Grange, and the rest of the mogul network continue their business as usual, untouched and unbothered. It's strategic and terrifying. One man takes the fall, the rest stay clean. It's not justice, it's theater. The public gets a headline while the system stays protected. And the proof is right in front of us. Look at the baby. His downfall wasn't random or accidental. He was targeted the moment he stopped playing by their rules. When Diddy started paying him extra attention and Beyonce allegedly began drawing him closer, he refused to play along. And that's when everything fell apart overnight.
These things that I'm saying in Hollywood exist in religious circles, in politics, in the medical profession. It's how all cases are handled, right? So what am I saying? I'm saying if it's car theft and we're going to accuse you of having a carjacking ring, right? We're going to begin by bringing in people that we caught.
It's becoming painfully clear. The icons the world worships, the ones we grew up respecting, might not be innocent bystanders at all. They're part of the system, actively recruiting new faces into the cycle. According to Jaguar's claims, Beyonce isn't just an entertainer. She's a gatekeeper. And when artists don't cooperate, they get the DaBaby treatment. Erased from the spotlight, one career at a time. Some artists refuse to fold, no matter what it costs them. That's what separates the heroes from the ones the system breaks. The industry has mastered the art of destroying anyone who dares to say no. And Petey Pablo is living proof of it. When Petey wouldn't submit, they didn't just blacklist him quietly. They went for his name and reputation. According to Terrence Howard, the industry followed the same old playbook. When they can't control you with money or fear, they crush you with false scandals. They accused Petey of inappropriate behavior, leaked twisted rumors, and let social media turn his image into a spectacle. Overnight, a respected artist became a headline. And that's exactly how they wanted it. This is their standard operating procedure. Step 1, plant a story. Step 2, fabricate witnesses. Step 3, sit back while the internet does the dirty work. By the time any truth surfaces, if it ever does, the artist is finished, their career burnt beyond repair. Even Terrence Howard admitted he faced the same pressure. He revealed that multiple producers approached him with those same disgusting offers, promising roles, fame, and deals in exchange for compromising his values. But just like Petey, Terrence said no every single time, and he paid for it. The roles that should have been his went to others who played along, while he was quietly pushed aside. That's how this system operates. If they can't buy you, they'll break you. And if they can't break you, they'll bury your name under lies. The roles Terrence Howard was perfect for suddenly disappeared. Casting calls mysteriously changed, schedules conflicted, and just like that, his entire career path was flipped upside down. All because he chose dignity over demands. Hollywood loves to sell the dream that talent and hard work always win, but Terrence's story exposes the harsh truth. Sometimes the only way to rise is to say yes, and the only way to keep your soul intact is to say no. The same thing happened to DaBaby. He was at the top of his game, chart-topping hits, sold-out tours, and an army of fans chanting his lyrics. But the moment he stopped playing their game, everything froze. The phone stopped ringing, the invites vanished, and the support disappeared overnight.
Picking up phone calls, I ain't no friendly anyway though, you know what I'm saying? So that ain't had no type of effect on me. Like I barely called. I ain't called. When I was on top, I ain't called before I got on top. Like I ain't really that type. Like I'm a eat with you type. I'ma eat what I regardless, so I know that's me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I get down. Like, you know, and that's kind of like that it eventually I adapted and that just became my approach.
When the backlash hit, he was completely alone. All those industry friends and insiders who used to praise him were suddenly silent, like he never existed. That's how the system works. One day you're the hottest name in music, and the next, your calls go straight to voicemail. No explanations, no loyalty, no way back. And according to Cat Williams, this isn't just a music issue. It's everywhere. Comedy, film, sports, every lane has the same game, just different players. He's been warning the public for years, disguising truth as jokes, hoping someone would catch on. And here's the darkest part. Every scandal, every downfall, every so-called mystery pass in the industry isn't random. It's all planned, timed, and executed for maximum financial gain. DaBaby's cancellation wasn't random backlash. Petey Pablo's disappearance wasn't bad luck. Justin Bieber's breakdown wasn't teenage rebellion gone wrong. Every single one of these moments was planned, calculated, and orchestrated for profit. The public thinks they're watching reality unfold, but what they're really seeing is a carefully scripted performance. And the cruelest part? Even the artists don't realize they're just playing roles in someone else's show until it's far too late to rewrite the script. So why is Cat Williams still standing when so many others have fallen? Because he didn't go to those elite parties to join in.
What I'm saying is, in business, nothing is coincidental, or you would be hearing who's losing money. In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get not incidental, somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up. So they this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
Wow.
I'm saying there's the good side and the bad side of these business.
He went as a spy. While others were getting trapped and compromised, Cat was taking notes. While others were submitting to the game, he was collecting receipts. That's why his words sting so deep, because he's seen it firsthand and lived to tell about it. And now, it all connects. The same system that destroyed Petey Pablo, broke Justin Bieber, and abandoned DaBaby isn't just about the entertainment world. It's a reflection of how power truly works everywhere. Control, manipulation, silence. That's the formula. And the only real way to fight back? Refuse to play their game, no matter what it costs you. Because once you step inside that system, there's no walking out the same. So now the truth is out. The system was never broken. It's working exactly the way it was meant to. Petey Pablo, Justin Bieber, DaBaby, Terrence Howard, they weren't victims of bad choices or random misfortune. They were casualties of a machine that rewards obedience and punishes integrity. Every downfall, every career collapse, every mysterious disappearance, it all fits the same pattern. And now you see it for what it really is. But knowing the truth is only the first step. The real question is, if this system's been running for decades, how many more artists did you think fell off when in reality, they were pushed out on purpose? How many stories got buried because someone refused to play along? If this opened your eyes, don't just scroll past. Hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Spillhood so you never miss the next deep dive. We're uncovering the stories they want erased, one truth at a time. Stay alert, stay aware, and I'll see you on the next one.